24 hours and when I put up the replay and things like that. So, having said that, I don't know quite where to start, but we'll talk today a little bit about something that I've been talking with family and friends about recently, which is the 5 love languages. This is work by Dr. Gary Chapman, and if you're not familiar with it, I will put links to his website and such down below. But I learned about the love languages about 10 years ago, and Dr. Chapman is a marriage and relationship counselor, and what he found out over years, many years of doing this, is that he started to recognize that we each have what's called a love language. Now, before I get into that, I'll give you a little story of something that I recognized in my life that's similar but different. So when I was a teenager, I was dating a young guy, or a guy, we were both the same age, and we were together for several years. And about the second or third Christmas that we were together, I started to tweak to something that hadn't occurred to me before. So I would usually every Christmas buy him a bunch of little gifts, and he would buy me one big gift. And while the gift was lovely, I guess I was always just a little bit disappointed. And it was coming up to that third Christmas that something in my little brain tweaked, and I said, I see what's going on here. What's going on was I was giving him gifts the way I like to receive them, and he was giving me gifts the way he liked to receive them. So that particular Christmas, instead of buying him a bunch of little gifts, I bought him one big gift. And when I had also, prior to Christmas, because this is what you do when you're in a relationship, I shared my insight, and he was like, yeah, that's true. So that Christmas he bought me a lot of little gifts, and both of us were like really excited and felt really recognized and appreciated. So now love languages is very similar to that. And what Dr. Chapman had recognized is that there's 5 primary love languages, and he has a quiz on his site and everything to take that. But let me quickly share what those love languages are. One is words of affirmation, and those people who need to or receive love in the way of words. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, you look really lovely today. I love you. And those kinds of things. And when someone with words of affirmation hear those things, their love tank or their love well fills up. The second one is acts of service. Now, acts of service is those people who feel their love tank fills up when people do things for them. So it might be someone get you a cup of tea when you weren't asking, or they're making you dinner, or they're making sure your clothes get to the dry cleaners and things like that. If you're receiving a lot of things like that from your partner or your parents or something like that, it's a good bet that their love language is acts of service. Now, you may or may not recognize that as a love language because that may not be your love language. But see, here's the trick with this. We have to start recognizing in the people that are closest to us what their love languages are and what ours are as well, so that we can both have our love tanks filled, but also so that we can recognize, even if it doesn't fill our tank completely, that people are expressing their love for us in perhaps their own way. But we'll get back to that. So words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch. And again, that it goes beyond just intimate touch for all of you who think it's only, guys and that kind of things. It's actually beyond that. It's the hand on your back, or making, having someone's hand sitting on your leg in an appropriate fashion with the right person with you. No, I'm not talking, in your boss or anything like that. So don't go off of that. But it's physical touch. It's hugs and cuddles and kisses and so if you have a child whose love language is physical touch, but you're not so a touchy-feely person, you might want to consider that that's what you need to do for them to feel like their tank is being filled. So that's the third one, which was physical touch. The fourth one is quality time. And just like it sounds like, it's eyeball to eyeball time. It's not just, you're sitting on the couch together watching TV. It's oftentimes, that love language is about doing things together, about having that glass of wine and listening and really being present and not having your phone in front of you, and making that connection in that way. So let's see. So we had, what did we say? So we said physical touch, we said words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, and gifts. And some people's love language is gifts, and that doesn't mean big extravagant gifts for them to feel loved and you have to spend a lot of money. It has nothing to do with those kinds of things. Often it's the simple things. It's the little note in the in their wallet, or it's the random rose that you bring home, or it's a really thoughtful gift on their birthday that really shows that you get them, and that helps to fill their love tank. I have a great friend who I'm pretty sure her love language is gifts, and she would take the most beautiful time to wrap the presents in the most, not elaborate, but the most beautiful, visually appealing presented way, that the package itself was so much as a gift as what was inside. And we need to learn to appreciate that in each other. And when we can do that, when we can recognize somebody's love language, and when they're giving something to us, and really appreciate that, even if it doesn't fully fill our tank, we can at least recognize that in the other person. And then also when it's our time to express our love and appreciation for them, we can make a real big effort into giving them what they need to fill their love tank. With the example of the gifts, I really appreciated the gifts and I loved looking at the wrapping, but that's not me, right? That doesn't necessarily fill my love tank. Actually, gifts is 0 on my scale. But that doesn't stop me, now that I understand, really feeling love, because I'm appreciating what that person is giving me. So it's very interesting when you look at these, and you can go onto Dr. Chapman's website, the 5 love languages. You can take the test and see how that works. Get your kids or your partners. I think there's a kid one that you can take as well. And in a very, very practical sense, that helps in your relationship.